how will you put up that kind of money? Because you have a bond to put up. Even if you appeal, you got to put up escrow money. That's it's a lot of dough.
It is a form of Navalny. It is a form of communism or fascism. The guy's a nut job. I've known this for a long time, and I've said it openly. No jury, no anything. Letitia James is horrible attorney general in New York, campaigned on I will get Trump, I will get Trump. We went through a trial. It turned out we're totally innocent on everything. And he fined me $355 million plus interest and other things. 355.
Cool. So there's a lot there to dig into. First of all, on Letitia James, she's an awful attorney general. She campaigned on I'll get Trump. Well, it looks like someone finally made good on their campaign promises because she got you, dude. Okay, you campaigned on build the wall. Where's the wall, Donnie? No wall. She got Trump though. So I think Letitia James won, Donald Trump 0. But of course, the money quote there is, it's a form of Navalny. I heard that word somewhere. I don't know what it's about and I don't care, but it gets me off the hook, right? The idea being there that Donald Trump, having committed documented fraud, we've already gone through the individual examples of it. We're not having a debate about whether it was fraud. It was fraud. It was cartoonish fraud. It was Looney Tunesian fraud. That he has to pay for that is a form of Navalny. He's like Alexei Navalny, the Russian opposition figure who has been poisoned, imprisoned, and eventually murdered by, sorry, I don't remember who did it because I've only been paying attention to Donald Trump recently, and he refuses to say. He's got nothing to say about the dude or the regime who killed Alexei Navalny. He'll only invoke half of the guy's name in defense of himself. It is so utterly disgusting, and I just hope, not for my sake, but for her sake, that the widow Navalny never has to see this, because I can't imagine more insult to injury than Donald Trump using the horrific, tragic death of your heroic husband to defend himself for his own willful financial crimes. Sharon, what do you think?
I think that the universe has a great balancing act, okay? And this somehow will be righted. I couldn't agree with you more. It is absolutely stomach turning. It is gross every time he actually pronounces one word correctly, okay, Navalny. So somehow he can get that right. And he doesn't even have, he shouldn't even have the right to utter that name, okay?
No.
He was assassinated and Donald Trump's friend did the bidding. So, but that just goes to show you there's no level that he won't stoop to. There is no
100%.
bottom. So we need to stop looking for it.
100%. Here is the sum total of his commentary about the death, other than now using it to defend himself. Somehow he's gonna figure like, you can't get me for sexual abuse because Navalny. Here's what he had truthed. The sudden death of Alexei Navalny has made me more and more aware of what is happening in our country. It's a slow, steady, blah, 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 nothing having to do with Alexei Navalny, his death, Russia, the dude who killed him, how he died, what he stood for, the state of Russian opposition afterward. You could literally put in any other topical piece of news. Literally anything you want. I don't know. The results from the Oscars have made me more and more aware of what is happening in our country. Something, something, peekaboo James. It has nothing to do with what he's saying. And the worst thing about that, maybe, we can have a debate, to me, was not Donald Trump saying it's a form of Navalny. It's that he said it and that crowd cheered.
Yeah.
They thought that was a good point. And if it's not immediately clear why that is not only horrific, but also ridiculous, I want you to consider the mental gymnastics necessary to end up in the position where they're at, banging their hands together for that comment. They believe that it is utterly unacceptable to do to Donald Trump what was done to Navalny, but also let's not talk about what happened to Navalny or who did it. We don't care, we're not interested. Putin's a good guy. Honestly, I mean, all leaders kill people. Is it really that bad? But then in your analogy, is it bad or is it not bad? Because it's simultaneously awful and also perfectly fine, not even worthy of discussion. They're not demanding that Donald Trump talk about Navalny or acknowledge that Vladimir Putin killed him or any of that stuff. They're perfectly happy with Vladimir Putin and his regime. They just think, oh yeah, that's a thing that happened. How can we turn this world tragedy to being about Donald Trump being awesome? It is such a weird political movement, Sharon.
Yeah, and when you have people who are just MAGA, Trump for life, get it tatted on their bodies, so to speak, they just won't move away from him. You're right, that's where our focus should be. That's the real problem. I don't know how you run against someone who has no conscience. I don't know how you support someone like this. Even the reality kid on Vanderpump Rules, who uttered nonsense saying that he was getting scrutiny like the George Floyd case, and I think he mentioned OJ. At least he apologized the next day. Donald Trump is actually uttering the word more and more, Navalny, because he's getting attention. He makes no distinction about what kind. And you're right, since he lives in that bubble where people just cheer on every boneheaded thing he says, why would he stop?
100%. I mean, I can't attest to the Vanderpump Rules thing. I don't know about that, but yeah, other people, almost anyone in America can apologize except for Donald Trump at the end of the day. And just as I occasionally do, little heads up to the world, just as he throughout his life has refused to apologize for anything he's done, I refuse in advance to apologize for the things I say and do the day that he finally leaves us. It's gonna be a day of celebration, that's all I'm saying. And also, you can't hold it against me because I am going to be wasted when it happens.
Oh, I was gonna say you should probably abstain from the alcohol because just the celebrating is enough. Throw in the alcohol and who knows what could happen. That's just gonna be a heck of a day.